Good morning. Good morning. It's Saturday, so I'm happy to be here with you. Today, we're going to talk about 8 things you need to break up with the United States of America. We're also going to talk about 8 things that you don't need. Some things that people think that they need to have already in place and, all of that before they can leave the country, before they can become an expat, before they can move abroad. So that's what we're going to talk about. The things you do actually need before you can leave and the things that you don't need. Okay, the things that are going to slow down your process if you are ready to go. Okay, I'm going to start off with saying you don't need to be burdened down and angry before you go. A lot of us are some of you guys are already there, but you don't have to you don't have to wait until you're at the last straw before you make a change. I hope that we're not waiting until we just can't take no more. Okay, I hope that we're not getting to that point before we look to actively improve our situation. You don't have to wait until things are at their very worst, until you've hit rock bottom before you make a change. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Good morning, Venus. Good morning, Kiki. I'm over America. Good morning, Kiki. Good morning, Abba, TL, Sandra, Pam. Hey, Justice. Good morning, Ren. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Gillian or Jillian. Good morning. All right. So this is what we're going to talk about today. I would like to talk about the things that you need and the things that you don't need. My eyes look bad. I'm having allergy problems. I call Guadalajara Old Faithful because I know when I come to Guadalajara, I'm going to be able to eat well, get good internet, good weather, inexpensive Airbnb. I know all of those things are going to happen in Guadalajara, but I'm also going to have allergies. So I had a headache 2 days. I lost 2 days to a headache this week. And my eyes just look really bad. I'm aware of that, but I feel better than I look. So I'm aware that I don't look good, but I feel fine. It's just allergies. And we're having wildfires. So today the sky is actually blue, so maybe the wildfire is pretty much contained and almost done. So that probably contributed to my eye situation as well. Good morning, Chi. Good morning, Maps Bolt. I have been having this conversation with a lot of people. Very many are scared to change the paradigm. Yeah, yeah. That's just how it's going to be. That's just how it's going to be. You only know what you know, and it's safer. What you know is always safer than the unknown. That's common. That's human. That's superhuman. That's how we were just developed over time to value safety over other things. Yeah. You can't decide for other people. That's not on my list today. I wrote down my list, but that's not on my list. You can't decide for other people. You decide for you and yours, you and everyone you're in charge of. But you can't decide for everyone. So this topic was not the original topic for today. But if it had been, I would have arranged for Jay Freedom to come and join us today. Jay Freedom is the author of We Out, The Blueprint, a guide to ending our abusive relationship with America. I would love to have her come on sometime and talk. If you've been to ExodusSummit.com, ExodusSummit.com, you have heard Jay Freedom's talk, I hope. Because I love that, or I appreciate that she calls it an abusive relationship, and not everybody's going to be ready to go at the same time. That's just how it is. Sorry to say. I guess that sounds cold. I mean, but that is how it is. Everybody's not ready at the same time. Harriet Tubman, when she left the first time, she came back to get her husband, and he was like, "Oh no, I got a new wife now," and she was like, "Okay, well, who else want to go?" Right? Not everybody's ready at the same time. She came back. I think her husband and brothers, and they were like, well, we have these things, because it was wintertime, and they're like, oh, I got a wife and this and that. And she was like, well, anybody else want to go? Yeah, everybody's not ready at the same time. Okay? So we're going to talk about the 8 things you need, 8 things you don't need. And I already said what you don't need is to be at the end of your rope. You don't need to start planning something like this when you are at the end of your rope. You can start planning it before. You may already be at the end of your rope. Good morning, Francis. Good morning, Nima. Good morning, M Player. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Pat Fuqua. Good morning, Nakia. All right. Number one thing that you don't need, this is going to sound obvious to some, but some people are going to be surprised. You don't need to work on getting citizenship in another country. Some people really do think they need to work on a way to get citizenship in another place before they can leave this country because there's so much talk in this country about the immigration process. Immigration to a lot of countries can mean applying for temporary or permanent residency, which we've learned through Exodus Summit is easier in some places than in others. Mexico, Portugal, France even have permanent or have temporary and permanent residency visas that are that basically just require you to make or to have as much money as their minimum wage for, to be able to support yourself so that they know you're not coming to take a job from a local person. But because you have the American passport, which is, if most of us have the American passport, which is still pretty strong, we can get to a lot of places on tourist visas. Some places offer U.S. passport holders a 180-day stay on a tourist visa, like Mexico. I'm in Mexico right now. I came in November. I came to Mexico the Sunday after Thanksgiving. And I'm still here, and I'm still legal. I'm still here legally because of their very generous tourist visa. So you don't need to try to work on citizen. In fact, in most places you can't get citizenship until you've had residency for years and years. Some countries will never give a foreigner citizenship, some will, but you need to have been there 5, 10, 15, 20 years as a resident before you can become a citizen. Unless you have a country that will give you birthright citizenship, unless you have a parent or grandparent who was born in another country and they will give you citizenship off of that. Other than that, citizenship is not the way to look to move abroad. It is, where can I get residency? If you're looking to be a digital nomad, you don't even have to worry about that. It's, how long will my tourist visa let me stay? I've said this a lot. Mexico lets you come in for 180 days. All you have to do is cross the border and cross back, and you get another 180 days. That's the way it is right now. That's the way it's been. And so there are plenty of people who live in Mexico, plenty of Americans and Canadians who live in Mexico but don't have residency status. That would make me super nervous, but they do it. They do it. You just have to have like a contingency plan. What if one day this changes, because you have to get residency when you're out of the country. The application process has to start out of Mexico. But even then, it's not a big deal. Like, you could just go to Belize and start the process and then get approved and come back, I guess. That would be the default or the thing. Yeah, yeah, I know, Katrina. A lot of people do think that in the beginning. Oh, I'm a citizen of the U.S. I want to move somewhere else. I got to get citizenship somewhere else. Absolutely not. And you probably won't. You probably won't get citizenship somewhere else because, like I said, they require you to have residency. Most countries require you to have been a resident for X number of years before you can be a citizen. So residency is the way to go. Jade Jackson, I want to live in France. I'm waiting for the borders to open. Jade, you need to check out Delights by Dawn on Instagram. She's a baker who just went to France to go to a pastry school. Delights by Dawn, Delights. She just got to France. So even though France is not letting tourists in, they are letting students in. She is a pastry chef. She got into a pastry school. She's living her dream in France. We learned from Rashida and I hosted a session on getting residency in France, a workshop on getting residency in France, where Latrice Shepard, who is an expat coach for France, taught us exactly what Dawn did. She taught Dawn I was in that workshop with Dawn when she told Dawn, here's how you get to France. And boom, Dawn's in France. That workshop was in January or February. Here it is, early April. Dawn's in France, living her French pastry chef dreams. Okay, so if anyone is interested in that workshop on how to how to use the student visa to get into France as a temporary residency, check that workshop out. ExodusSummit.com/workshops. ExodusSummit.com/workshops. Okay, that was super helpful, and we are watching Dawn real time live out what she learned in that workshop. It's super exciting. She's in a part of France that is famous for nudist colonies. She's not in Paris. I think she's in the south of France. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, so yes, Penniless in Paris is an expat coach who came in and taught that session. She is awesome. She is awesome. Be careful though. She will have you in France before you know it. Okay, so you don't need citizenship. You need entry, number one. You need entry into that country. That can be a tourist visa if you're looking to do some digital nomad things and just bop around from place to place. You need entry, not citizenship. So it could be a tourist visa, it could be permanent residency or temporary residency, but not citizenship. And residency in some places, simple process. In Mexico and Portugal, we covered those in workshops as well. Relatively simple process. Costa Rica also has a nice process for people who earn money on their own and aren't coming to Costa Rica to work. It's called the rentista visa. I have a video on this. I don't know what it's called. That would be helpful. I don't know what that's called, but it'll come to me. But okay, number one, you don't need citizenship. You need an entry visa. Number two, which I just see here, I think, what about starting a business in another country? Number two, you don't need a job abroad. You need income, online income. Okay, you don't need a job abroad. You need online income. If you're looking to move out of the United States, you most likely are looking to go to a place with a lower cost of living, which means the pay is going to suck, okay? You don't want to have to earn money in Mexico. First of all, they're not big on that. They're not big on foreigners coming into Mexico and working. It does happen. Companies do sponsor people to come and work, but you don't want to have to come and find a job in Mexico or get a job in Portugal. Even in France, the minimum wage in France is also not that high. So I don't know, France is more socialist. Healthcare is covered. Education is pretty much covered. So people aren't paid a lot because they don't have to spend a lot on certain things. But you don't want to have to go to these places and get a job. Number one, you're not going to get paid as much, probably. In some countries, definitely, you will get paid more. Some of these expensive countries, Australia, for example, Switzerland. But in most countries, if you're going for a lower cost of living, they're talking about low pay. Okay. And number two, that's a long process. Getting a job abroad is a long process. Countries also aren't big on you coming. Some countries aren't big on you coming and starting a business there. They want you to have income. If they think if you're starting a business there, you don't have income yet and you need to rely on, a wing and a prayer to make it, they want you to have online income. Okay, so the solution to this is your remote job going to allow you to leave the country? Likely, no. Honestly, your remote job may very well say no. If they're paying benefits for you, if they're paying, tax and tax withholding and all of that for you, it's very possible that they won't allow you to leave the country. But they're not the only job. I know. Whatever you do, more than one person does it. Even astronauts, right? Before you oh, well, I can only work for NASA. Even now, you can work for freaking whatever they're called, the Elon Musk people, right? Whatever you do, someone else will pay you to do that thing. Someone else who may have a more liberal policy, a more liberal location policy. If you don't have, good morning, Rashida. Good morning, Kim. If you don't, good morning, Mom. Good morning, Joyelle. Good morning, Aisha. Good morning, Forever Free. If you don't have any idea how to find remote work for what you do. You know that you can do it online, but you don't know how to find remote work. Get your work from anywhere toolkit, exodussummit.com/toolkit. In that link to the workshops that I listed already, exodussummit.com/workshops, there's a workshop by Libria Jones exactly on, she does job searches for us on the workshop. During that workshop, Libria pulls out her favorite job search tools and skills and resources, and she does job searches right there. She shows you exactly. So get that workshop, Finding Remote Jobs, at exodussummit.com/workshops. Pause. Every time she says, here's how you do it, you pause, you do it. Work along with her. By the end of that workshop, you could possibly have some prospects. Okay, but you need income, not a job abroad. If you're already doing something online for money, it's possible that that could be the job that could take you out of the United States, or the business. If you are running a side hustle, if this is a side hustle that could support you abroad, expand it, right? Is that something that you could do? Finding a job abroad is not the solution. You need income online, not income abroad. Okay, number 3 thing, you don't necessarily need a foreign bank account, you need access to your US funds. Some people are concerned about, like military retirees, usually ask this question, my money, or Social Security recipients, my money goes into my bank, how do I get it? It's easy. just like you get your money now, that's how you get your money from Portugal or from Mexico or from Costa Rica or from Vietnam. You go to the ATM and you pull the money out, or you do transactions online. You need to have access to your money. You don't necessarily need a foreign bank account. Some countries require you to have a foreign bank account to become a resident. Others do not. Make sure that your bank is not charging foreign transaction fees. If you bank with Bank of America, they definitely do charge a 3% foreign transaction fee. So switch to a bank that will let you access your own money without charging you 3% for every single transaction. But other than that, you don't need to concern yourself with a foreign bank account unless you're looking for residency in Portugal, which is what we learned during the workshop. If you're looking for residency in Portugal, you do need a foreign bank account. But other places, no. You need access to the money that you already have. Okay, number 4. We're moving along on this list. Am I just ignoring y'all in the chat? I'm sorry. I'm like, we're at number 4. This is an hour conversation and we're 15 minutes in. Okay. Joyelle, I work on Rev. I've got an online customer service job. I got it early, so if I need to change jobs, then I have some sort of leverage for online jobs. Great. Online customer service? Yes. 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 Yeah, we see like Hilton, and we see, I don't know if you can tell us who you work for, but we see those online customer service jobs pop up seasonally. Like every few months, they're like, all right, we're hiring again. If they will allow you, again, I'm not into pretending like you're not out of the country, if they will, because I don't be stranded in another country with no income. But if they will allow you to work from abroad, that's a great job to have, a customer service job. And Alicia is saying TransferWise to transfer money from one account to another account. Yes, I've heard a lot about TransferWise. I don't really understand, Alicia, why I need it, because I can just transfer money. You can do a bank transfer. Why do I need a third party to transfer money? If, say, I have a U.S. bank and a Mexico bank, I can just transfer money from my U.S. bank to my Mexico bank, right? Why do I need a third party? I get a little bit of money from a company in the UK, and we have to use TransferWise to transfer that money to the US account, but I don't understand it. Why can't they just transfer it to the US account? I don't know. All right. I love my head wrap. Thank you. I bought it with the blouse so that they would coordinate. All right. Okay. Kim says Charles Schwab. Yeah. If you have the Work From Anywhere toolkit, we have some Charles Schwab, Chime. We have a couple of banks listed in there that are foreign transaction friendly. that will give you, that will not charge you a foreign transaction fee, and that will rebate some of your ATM fees. Charles Schwab is that. USAA is who I bank with. Yeah, and that's who Junket says. Yeah, I bank with USAA. I'm an Army veteran. I bank with USAA, no foreign transaction fees, and they give me back some of my ATM fees. I never can remember how much. All right. Okay. So you don't need citizenship, you need entry into a country. You don't need a job abroad, you need income. You don't need a foreign bank account before you go, you need access to your income. Number four, you don't need to ship your stuff. Y'all knew this was coming. Y'all knew this was coming. Good morning. You know this is coming. Hi, Mo in the city. Yeah, Darshell. Good morning, Esther. Good morning, AJ and Allison. Good morning, Amelia. Good morning, Andrea and Vanessa. Krishan, good morning. Krishan from Black Sickle Global. Hey, Krishan. Good morning, Uja. Good morning, Mo. Yes, you don't need to ship your things to another country. You need to and you don't need to store your stuff. You need to sell it, or what you need is a plan for your current home. Your plan may include renting out your home fully furnished, and you don't have to deal with too much, right? Get your stuff, get the things that you actually need, get that secured away, but don't worry too much about the whole moving process, okay? That's a valid solution. You may decide you want to sell everything, every fork, every spoon, right? Every single item in that house, no problem. But you just need to decide what your plan is going to be. This is the thing that, okay, so Black people, Black women, we know we are told home ownership is the path to legitimacy. You are an actual adult person when you own a home, right? Black excellence includes home ownership. You're not excellent until you own a home, at least one. All right, but it's also a thing that makes people super nervous. It's a thing that becomes the boss of you, right? Owning a home becomes the boss. The home you own becomes the boss of you. I'm here to tell you, home ownership might be the thing that gets you out the door faster, right? Maybe your home, you're at a point in your home ownership journey where your home is going to actually pay you to leave. You know, your renters or the buyers are going to actually fund your life abroad. Quite possible for some of us. Now, it was never me, but that is a thing. Yes. So please, people get really nervous about the home. Don't get nervous about it. Get real. Find out. Get some professional advice and find out what is the best path for you. What is the best solution for you? I'm here to tell you the best solution is not to ship all of your stuff or store all of your stuff. Okay, those are the last. Those are solutions Z. We want solutions A and B and C. Okay, so you need a plan for your home. You do not need to ship or store your stuff. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're already at number 5. All right, number 5, you don't need to find a place to live long term before you get into a new country. You don't need to sign a lease, a 1-year lease, any of that stuff before you get there. You need a short-term accommodation in the place that you want to go to, an Airbnb, a hotel even. You want short-term accommodation, and then you want to get there and search in person. You want to be able to be confident that you like the neighborhood, because a beautiful home in a terrible neighborhood is not the move. It's the pits. It's the pits. So you want to make sure that you're in the right neighborhood, that the home really does look like they say it looks, and that you're not paying that I'm in the USA price. You're automatically going to be charged more. We had that question last week. Do I feel like I get charged more as an American? When you're booking things, when you're in the US, you're definitely getting charged more. I don't care if it's an excursion, a day tour, or a release, right? You're definitely getting charged more. So get yourself to the place. Get an Airbnb or a hotel room. Stay with some people. If you were in Guadalajara, you could have stayed with me this week. Stay with some people, and then look around and find it once you get there. Once you get there, the price is going to be better. You're going to be more informed. Just a better all-around process. People have done it. Asia just was interviewed by Was it Adalia? Asia was just interviewed by someone, Asia Rutledge. She'd already spent significant time in Mexico, and she did sign a lease for a place that she has never seen, sight unseen, right? So people do it. But it's, even she said it's not she wouldn't advise anyone else to do that, because you're just putting a lot of trust in someone else's hands. So, and it's kind of stressful if you're talking about the whole process of leaving a place and going to another place. The idea of trying to find your permanent place to stay is really stressful, as opposed to I have an Airbnb for 2 weeks, right? Or 3 weeks, and I know I can extend or get another Airbnb if I need to. I don't have to be too worried about the whole picking the perfect place where I'm going to live my life for the next year or 5 years, all of that added into the process. Do the minimum that you can do to get there. All right. All right. Okay, I just saw the question pop up. What about insurance? Okay, that's number 7. Are we on number 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Oh, number 6. Okay. We'll move this. Well, no, that'll be number 7. Number 6 is you need the ability to do your work in another place. This is what we talked about last week. Me leaving La Paz, Mexico, and coming to Guadalajara, Mexico, because the internet in La Paz would not let me work. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I would say like Johannesburg, South Africa not looks, I've been there. It is an amazing place. It's alive. Johannesburg is alive. That's what I had to say about that city. It's alive, but I would never ever want to try to run an online business from Johannesburg. So you need to be in a place where you have the ability to work, which for most of us is just good and expensive internet, reliable electricity. Speaking of good internet, I just got the notice that my internet quality, my speed is low. I don't know why, because I'm in Guadalajara with the fast internet. Oh, maybe, I don't know. So, yeah, you want to make sure that you have the ability to work, to do the work that we've already talked about you're going to do. You have the ability to actually work from that place. A lot of places sound wonderful. Yes, some places sound wonderful. There are some parts of Ghana that look so pretty, and we just saw Naomi Campbell's home in Kenya, right? We need to make sure, am I going to have to deal with electricity blackouts? Am I going to have to deal with slow or expensive internet? We need to know these things, all right? So in the Work From Anywhere toolkit, we've got links to places where people share their internet speed. There are places on the internet where people go and say, here's my internet speed in this place. Okay, that one of my favorites is Nomad List, nomadlist.com. I like it. It's not even free. Like, honestly, Nomad List has changed their pricing, whatever. It used to be free for most things, and then you had to pay for some things. Now everything is paid, and I still love it. I pay for it, and I'm a cheapskate. I pay for Nomad List because I appreciate the information that I get there. Like, I did a speed test and my internet upload speed is 12 megabytes per second, right? Like, that's super helpful for somebody like me who has to work. We talked about that last week. All right, citizenship, no. Entry, yes. Job abroad, no. Income, yes. Foreign bank account, not necessarily. Access to income for free, yes. Ship and store your stuff, no. A plan for your home, yes. Permanent long-term accommodation, no. Short-term accommodation, yes. Ability to work, yes. Okay? All right. You don't need, here we go, insurance. I mean, there's 2 different sentences. You need insurance, okay. You don't need the expensive self-employed or freelancer U.S. insurance when you're going to another country, okay? For some of us who don't have an employer and are working online or working for ourselves in the U.S., that health insurance is super expensive. Expensive, right? It's very expensive. I said us, I don't even have it. That's how expensive it is. It's very expensive when you work for yourself to insure yourself in the U.S. Not the case abroad. Not the case abroad for a couple of different reasons. First of all, they view healthcare as a right and not a privilege for the rich, right? So healthcare prices in general are lower. And secondly, you can get insured, right? If you have the money to pay for your insurance policy, you can get insured. I've talked to people in Mexico. I house sat for I house sit, y'all know, I house sit for people in Mexico, and they've talked about their insurance. These are senior citizens. They talk about their insurance being $100 a month or so for private insurance. And for Portugal, during our workshop, we were told to expect it to be around, insurance is, it varies, but we were told to expect it to be around $1,000 for a year for our insurance policy in Portugal. In the US, healthcare is a reason to not make changes, right? Healthcare is a reason to stay at a job you don't like. It's a reason to not try to make your own way, right? I want to be an author. Well, forget it, right? Because healthcare prices. It's not like that in other countries. I'm here to tell you. Okay? So, yes, we need insurance, but no, we don't need that expensive US, I work for myself insurance. You need, here we go. Hi, Teresa. You need to get into the country, you'll need some form of insurance. I have a travel medical insurance policy through World Nomads. In the Work From Anywhere toolkit, we've got some resources listed. World Nomads Alliance Safety Wing, right? So you need some temporary insurance, and then when you get into that country, you get your insurance policy in that country. Okay, so when you get to Mexico as a temporary resident, you apply for insurance. Actually, you may need it before you get. I don't know. You're going to have to Google that. It's country specific. It's country specific. I think, I don't know. Because I don't have it because I'm on a tourist visa. I'm not a temporary resident in Mexico. But you get Mexico, you get two, these, most people I think get two policies. You get the first policy that's going to carry you over. And then once you get into that country, you get the real policy. That's what I would say my house sitting clients are doing. Justice, yeah. With healthcare, we really can't afford to stay here. We have to go somewhere else. That's an eye opener. That's an eye opener. I've told you there are a couple of things that I've seen firsthand that have made me say, oh, I don't think I could live in the United States. One was when I saw that Mexico electric bill, the first time when I house sat for a woman in Guanajuato, and her electric bill was like, I don't know, she left me 500 pesos to pay the bill, which is $25. She left me $25 to pay her electric bill. It was a 2-month electric bill, and I got change back. It was under $25 for 2 months, and I got change back. I was like, and at the time, when I lived in Wilmington, I had a row house, like a townhouse connected to another other house, and at times in the winter, my electric bill would be $300. Yeah. So that $24 electric bill opened my eyes. The other thing was healthcare. A broken arm in Thailand, a lot of tourists go to Thailand and ride the bikes and get drunk and then break their arms, right? It's a common thing to walk around Thailand, the tourist areas of like Bangkok and Chiang Mai, and you see like tourists all bandaged and bruised and have road rash and everything. A broken arm in Thailand costs $180. To go in, you get treated, you get your arm set, you get your cast, you get some meds, $180. Can you imagine? You can't even get a ride to the hospital in the United States for $180. Right. So when I saw those things, that's when I was like, oh, it's a scam. They're scamming us. So healthcare is the thing that will open your eyes. Healthcare is something that it keeps us stuck in our places sometimes in the United States. It keeps us stuck at jobs. It keeps us stuck, but it's not like that other places. Go abroad. Cutie pie. My electric bill this month is $48, and that's cheap for my apartment. Okay, where are you, cutie pie? That's good. I did have 60-some dollar bills in the summertime. So in the wintertime, my electric bill would be 3 something. In the summertime, it would be like $68. How do you get an apartment when you're out of the country? I don't have a video on that, but Adelia does. Let me link to this. There is a playlist called Move. I have a playlist here on this channel called Move to Mexico, but it's so the information is good for a lot of places. In a lot of places, things are pretty much the same. Not, oh, that's, I shouldn't say it like that. In a lot of places, it works like Adelia has spelled out in her video. Okay, so you can't follow this link. If you're live in the chat, click on the link. If you're watching the replay, you're going to have to look in the description for the link. But a Move to Mexico playlist, she's got a video on that playlist called Getting an Apartment Hunting in Mexico City. And it's like that in a lot of cities, a lot of places that you're going to want to go. That is how you do it. And Adelia's Spanish is, I would say so-so. Would you say, Adelia? So-so. So, and she did it. And Rashida, I don't even think Rashida's Spanish is so-so. And she did it. Rashida has an apartment in Mexico City. Yes. So, but basically to get an apartment abroad, from what I learned from them, because I've not done this, I've done Airbnbs only and house sitting. From what I've learned from them, you walk around the neighborhood, right? You find places in a neighborhood that you like. You ask people and you walk around and look for signs, and then you go into apartment buildings that look like buildings that you would want. They're not, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Watch Adelia's video, Joelle, because I've not done it. A root canal in Thailand is $200, and an all-day yearly women's appointment is $200. Yes, I think here in Mexico, the women, I think they told me it was about $150 for the well women's exam. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But in Lake Chapala, so Lake Chapala has a lot of retirees, lots of, healthcare facilities to cater to those retirees from the US and from Canada. I don't know. 150 sounds high. I remember when they told me, and I was like, no problem, out of pocket. Right? No problem paying for that. I have no problem paying for that out of pocket. Coco, child, I know. I worked in healthcare. I was a hospital pharmacy technician. You would think, you would think they wanted us to die young. Like, the health insurance was the pits. It's the pits. I'm telling you, it's really not like that other places. Other places do value these countries, they seem to value us as people. They seem to value people and want you to live a full, healthier life. I don't know. Well, I guess I do know. I do know the difference, but it's just striking when you go other places. And right, so some places that the US would consider on our level, but even places that the US would say are not on our level, right? This country is not on our level, is what they would say. But healthcare is better here. It's better. You have better access to it. It's less expensive. Lots of US and Canadian trained healthcare practitioners. This is why we're leaving, okay? This is why we're leaving. It's a scam. Let them have it. Let them stay. BCBAs or anything related to autism in Africa. Oh, no idea. Ariel, you're going to need to find a group. Let's see. Ariella says she's a board certified behavior analyst and wants to continue working in that field when she moves. No idea. You're going to have to look for the organization for that work in the countries that you want to go to. Ooh, I just saw there are doctors and healthcare practitioners who have services that help other healthcare practitioners and other healthcare practitioners move abroad, and take their job abroad. I am not, this channel, you're not going to get info on doing your job in another country, right? I can't tell you enough. I don't have any info on that. I don't. But if you want to do your job in another, unless you're a teacher, we do. I have had women come on to talk about teaching. But unless you're a teacher, you need to find out where people are talking about that thing, because this is not the channel to talk about doing your job in another country. You know what I mean? I'm talking about going to inexpensive countries where they're not going to pay you very well. And so you need to find a way to do your job on the internet. You do your job on the internet, earn US dollars or Canadian dollars or whatever, and then you pay for food in pesos or rand or whatever, reals. Did we get through it? Oh, one more thing. Okay, so don't let the bugs keep you down, okay? Don't let the insects be the reason. So when people say insects, so I have a thing about mannequins. I'm not afraid of bugs and spiders and snakes. I'm afraid of mannequins, okay? So seriously, I'm afraid of mannequins that look like people, not store mannequins that don't have people features, but like museum mannequins and mannequins in churches. I'm afraid of mannequins, not exaggerating. That is my fear. Uh, like just thinking about mannequins right now makes me want to turn around and look behind me. Okay? But I go where I want, even into beautiful Catholic churches where I want to take some pictures, stunt for the gram, even when I know that mannequin is in there. They always have scary Jesus in the church. Always. And I know he's in there, but I'm going in that church and I'm going to take that picture. And then I'm going to leave. While looking at scary Jesus to make sure he's not following me out the door to kill me. Right. Don't let the bugs keep you down, okay? Figure out a way to live with them. Mexico has scorpions who don't move. They don't move. I'm a house sitter. I'm a pet sitter. A dog will step over a scorpion to go outside. That's how unscary the scorpions are here. They will just step over. I'm like, wait. He'll just be like, oh, I got to go outside. There's a scorpion, by the way. And then you just hit it with your shoe and it's over. So don't let the bugs get you down. The only place I would say, Australia, like maybe. Maybe don't go to Australia. But other than that, you're good. Find a therapist to talk about the bug thing. Like, seriously, if you think that is going to keep you from living your life, find somebody to talk about that. Ela, oh, so we didn't talk about that at all. What about American debt? Thank you for that. I'm going to make that number 9. Number 9. Okay, so number 8 is you need to figure out school for if you have children. You need to figure out the school situation. Most likely your kids are probably already in school online, and it's no big deal to continue that abroad. You can do world schooling. You can do unschooling, where you don't really school them in the traditional book, desk, seat way, where all of life is schooling. Like the homeschool kids, like when you're in the grocery store and you can tell the kids are turning this into a lesson, right? The mom is like, now figure out how much this is going to cost and all of that, So you need to figure out what to do with the kids. This is less of a concern. I used to get, when I do one-on-one calls, I used to get this pretty early in the call. Nobody asks me about this anymore because their kids are already on computer in school. They don't care. But you may go to a place where you want your kid to actually go to school, right? You may want to put them in an international school somewhere. You may want to put them in a local school somewhere. Here in Mexico, they do both. In Lake Chapala, I've seen both. I've seen kids there's an international school, not in well, maybe there's one in Lake Chapala, I don't know. But there's an international school that some Lake Chapala kids go to. Lake Chapala doesn't have a lot of, the Americans and Canadians, most of them are retirement age, so they're not a lot of kids. But there is that, okay? So there's like the international school. You can put them in the local school. You can school them online. You can school them offline, like world schooling, like we're not doing traditional curriculum in this house. That is called unschooling, and it's a thing, and you can Google it. There are parent groups out there doing it any kind of way. There are hybrids who do a mix of online schooling and unschooling. So that was my 8th thing to figure out, school. But 9th thing, before you go, you do need to pay the high interest consumer debt. Okay, I'm saying it like that because student loans, as far as I'm concerned, take your student loans and keep paying them, just whatever. Because maybe maybe they won't even exist soon. So don't worry about that $200,000 student loan in that way. Don't worry about paying that off before you go. But yes to paying off credit card debt, that kind of thing. Joyelle, thanks so much for the super chat. I just wanted to say thank you for helping me free my mind. Thank you, Joyelle. I appreciate you. I'm so glad you're here. And thank you so much for that super chat. So you may not know this if you weren't here last week. Super chat on this channel, I don't keep the money. We give the money to Black women creators. And this month, the super chat money is going to Green Heifer Farms. Farmer C of Green Heifer Farms is a farm in North Carolina who plants medicinal herbs. She grows teas, even though her teas are out of stock right now. Sorry, Mom. So super chat for today is going to Farmer C, a Black woman farmer in North Carolina who is running or growing Green Heifer Farm. So thanks for that super chat. I love being here, and I appreciate you for being here with us. All right. Yeah, so debt. Yes. So what you do need to pay off the high interest rate debt. You don't want to go to another place for a fresh start and have these credit card bills dragging behind you. You don't. You don't. I can't imagine how unrestful that would feel, right? If we're going to live better, work less, right? If our goal is to work less and live better abroad, I can't imagine having to pay, credit card bills at that time. So that is something that we need before we go. So thank you for mentioning debt. Thank you for that. Yes, but those student loans, I wouldn't worry about them. I mean, continue to pay them, but get the payment as low as possible, and then see what happens. Get that payment as low as possible, and see if some forgiveness can shine on you. Hi, Wheezy Jefferson. Wheezy Jefferson is one of my favorite TV people. I am so glad to have been, I know you're not her, but I'm going to talk to you like you're her. I'm so glad to have been alive during a time when Wheezy Jefferson was on TV and loved, honey. Wheezy was loved. She's the last Black woman, Wheezy and Helen, right? They were the last Black women who didn't have to be something else, Black and something, to be worshipped. Did nobody love nobody like George loved Wheezy. He worshipped that woman, and she had 4 Black grandparents, right? I appreciate that so much. I appreciate your name. I appreciate you keeping Wheezy alive. She was loved, and yeah, after that, it was like, Claire Huxtable, there was some indication that she wasn't all Black, even though both of her parents were Black, but she spoke Portuguese. And then there was Jasmine Guy, who's not, whatever her name was. And then the My Wife and Kids woman, but Wheezy Jefferson was loved. I'm so glad that I have that in my brain. I grew up watching that. I'm so glad. So thank you for that screen name. Okay. Yeah, I can't stand them Catholic statues. Scary Jesus. That's Scary Jesus. I can't. I really am afraid of mannequins. I really am. That's a fear. That's my fear. That's my phobia. It's always in there. But those churches are so pretty. I'm taking them pictures. I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm gonna take my pictures. I'm gonna keep my eye on Scary Jesus, and then I'm gonna leave and make sure he's not following. Okay, thanks for another super chat. Thanks for that super chat. I saw it also. Father Nature, thank you. So last week I showed you guys Green Heifer Farms, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to show you her Patreon. If anyone wants to give directly to her and become a patron instead of giving it through super chat, and then, if you want to directly give to her, you can go to patreon.com/Green Heifer Farms. She just updated she just put a YouTube video on her channel just this week with an update, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I was sick. I've been sick this week, but so I'm excited that she's our person for the month of April. Okay. So thanks for the super chat, friends. I love it. Thank you. So my business model in my head is that white men pay me to help black women. That's my business model. But y'all keep giving me money, so I gotta give it away. Every time I do something, people are giving me money. I'm like, no, I want the corporations. I want corporations who have benefited from black labor. I want them to sponsor me and give me money for nothing. Basically, I do. I want them to sponsor this channel. But instead, you guys keep giving money to the channel. So we're going to pass it on. We're going to pass it to Green Heifer Farms. Oh, today is the day. So Allison at the Pastry Factory, thank you for the super chat, Keisha Clark. Thank you. You're a new name. Hi, Keisha. I think you're a new name. Sorry if you're not new, but I think so. Um, so last in February, we gave $770 to the Pastry Factory in Columbus, Ohio, and today is their grand opening. Right, the Pastry Factory in Columbus, Ohio. Allison needed a little extra money to help equip her bakery space, and today is their grand opening. Yes, we gave $770 as a channel. On Instagram, she is the Pastry Factory. Pretty easy. And today's her grand opening. If you want to take a second and head over there and wish her the best on this big day, you can. She would appreciate that. She's Allison Blackwell. Yeah, so that's what's happening here. All right. Okay, so we went through 8 things. Did we cover the 8 things? Everybody got the 8 things? Thanks so much for that super chat. I see it. TL, thank you. Which house renter sites do you currently recommend for those who have pet allergies? I don't have a specific site. You're talking about like an Airbnb type site for people with pet allergies. You can just make sure that they don't have, you can, with Airbnb, you communicate with them before you book. For, if you can communicate with them before you book, just send them a message. Hi, I'd love to stay in your beautiful home. I have pet allergies. I just want to make sure that there have been no pets in this space. Right. And most of them will say whether they're pet friendly or not. Anyway, thank you for that super chat, Pia. Yeah, so is that what you're talking about? If I'm not answering your actual question, please redo it. But yes, so I don't know that there's a separate place to go. You just need to be very clear about this is why I'm asking. I'm asking because of allergies. I'm asking because I need to know. Francine. Hey, Francine. Francine is teaching online. Yes, she is. Okay, so we've talked about how you don't need a job abroad, you need income. Francine is teaching English online for a local Catholic school in Mexico. Oh, wait, until next year, and then you'll be in person. Ah, yes. I don't think I knew that, Francine. I knew that you were going there to teach. I knew you were in the town with the school, but I didn't realize you guys were going to be in person. That's wonderful. Yes, teaching English, being a native English speaker is a commodity, right? Teaching English is a way to get out asexually, okay? It is a way to get out asexually. A lot of teaching English positions require you to have the TEFL or the TESOL. We went over that in our own workshop called Teaching English Online. No, well, I'm talking about two different things now. Teaching English abroad and teaching English online. Well, they both require the certification. You can look up info on that, and then if you think teaching English is going to be the route for you, I put the wrong link, go to the Exodus Expat workshop on teaching English and watch it. That is on teaching English online. Okay, we have a workshop on teaching English online, not teaching English abroad. Okay. I see y'all talking to each other. That's good. Okay, thank you for answering each other's questions because I'm behind. Do I have a Cash App? I do. I'm gonna look it up. Because I don't know. It's S. I'm gonna look it up because I don't want to give you the. Actually, I have two Cash Apps because I kept forgetting. Anyway, y'all don't judge me. My Cash App is $Perry 302 because I rep the 302, which is Delaware's area code. This is my Cash App, S Perry $ S Perry 302. Oh, house sitting. Okay, your question was about house sitting sites for people with pet allergies. Same, right? You're going to have to look for house sits where they don't have pets, the kind of pets that you're allergic to, and then you're going to have to reach out to them and tell them when you're applying for the house sit, you're going to have to reach out to them and say, I have allergies to this, and I just want to make sure that you have not had this, like cats and dogs in your house, right? So maybe you find a house sit where there's some chickens and some goats, right? A lot of house sits are animal sits, but they may not be pets in the house. Okay, you've got to look at trusted house sitters. Trusted house sitters is the only service I've used, so they're the only ones that I would recommend. Mind My House and House Carers are also popular and international. It's not that I wouldn't recommend them, it's just I've never used them. With trusted house sitters, you just go on and ask the people. Find a house sit that would work for you, and then ask the people if they have had this in the home in however much time you think, if they've had cats in the home, right? So maybe it's a house sit with some horses in the back. If they got horses in the back, you just say, I'm allergic to cats and dogs, and I want to make sure you've not had cats and dogs in the house before you apply. I do not know of any service for people with allergies. Thanks so much for the super chat, Nima. Nima Roman. All right. Altenia, I saw your post, girl. Yes, Altenia went to the Teaching English Online workshop. I think, right, Altenia? She went to the Teaching English Online workshop, used Teacher Lena's thing to get her certification. Teacher Lena gave them the plug during the workshop on how to get certification for cheap, for super, super cheap. And now Altenia's certified. So now she can teach English online and go where she wants and not have to worry about trying to find a job in another country. Boom, did it. Congratulations. Congratulations. I think that's where you got the info. Hi, C Hall. Hello. Is that Middletown? We still live in Middletown. All right. So what am I missing? I see Joyelle is your life. Okay. Somebody must be having a struggle with family, not wanting them to go. Let me keep scrolling, see what I can see. All right. I don't know. Okay, so we covered the 8 things. You don't need citizenship. You need an entry visa. You don't need a job abroad. You need income. You don't need a foreign bank account, most likely. You need access to your money for free. You don't need to ship and store your stuff. You need a plan for your things and for your home. You don't need to find permanent accommodation before you go. You need short-term accommodation and the willingness to look once you get there. You need internet to work, internet, electricity, and whatever else you would need to work. You don't need expensive U.S. insurance for self-employed people. You need insurance to cover you while you get there, and then you need insurance from that place, which is not going to be probably anywhere near as expensive as you think. You need to figure out school. You don't necessarily need to put your kid in school in another country, but you need to figure out if you're going to do some online schooling, some homeschooling, some world schooling, You don't need to pay, let's see, how do I want to say this? This 9th one. You don't need to pay off your student loans entirely, but you do need to pay off that unsecured consumer debt. Thanks so much for the super chat, Sid. Sid is 3Ds to Success. I was on his podcast. I think Sid is one of the podcast. I get sneak attacks sometimes when people say, "Do you want to be on my podcast?" And I show up and they're recording it. And I'm like, oh, at least I do usually have eyebrows on. So thanks for the super chat, Sid. Sid's here on YouTube. 3Ds to Success. It was fun to talk to. Allison, thanks for the super chat. Allison Thompson. It's possible to handle credit card debt with debt settlement if appropriate and debt forgiveness for student loans after 10 years. Yes, look into student loan forgiveness. And I haven't dealt with that, but look into it. Yes, look into it. Don't feel like you're stuck. Whatever the thing is that makes you feel like you're stuck, look into it. Ask people for help. Allison, is that what you do? Like, is that something that you help people with if people want to reach out to you? If no, then no, that's fine. I'm just asking. Yeah, the thing that you think is keeping you stuck, find somebody who can help you with it. Don't let that be the period at the end of the sentence. It's not. It's just like a comma. You're just going to need to pause for a second. How about a group for those who are fearful of solo travel? I know a group. That group is called Solo Sisters on Facebook. I'm in the group. Adelia runs the group. SISTAS. Boom. Okay? Facebook group, Solo Sisters. Okay? We'll walk you through it. We'll walk you through it. Yes, this is Adelia aboard Sade's group. Adelia is Picky Girl Travels the World. This is her group, Solo Sisters. Yes. Solo travel, I think because it's called solo, because it has a title, a name to it, people think it's a big deal. Solo travel is what you do in your daily life. You go to the grocery store by yourself. I know you do, right? You go to work by yourself. If something's happening and you want to do it, you do it by yourself. It's no different in Mexico, right? I go to the grocery store by myself. And when you're traveling out of your place out of your country, like if you're away from home and you're solo, it's also easier to get. It's also easier to find people to become like your people for the day, right? Like excursions. I'm thinking like day tours and excursions and stuff. If I'm in Dover, Delaware, and I want to do something and I don't have anyone to do that something with, oh well, I'm probably not going to do it, right? If I were the kind of person who didn't do things solo, okay? If you're in the Philippines and you want to go on this awesome snorkeling adventure and you don't have anybody to go with you, you just take an excursion. Look, everywhere you turn, there's other people. You're no longer solo. So, solo travel is basically living your life. Not too many of us do everything with other people. You do stuff alone. It's the same as with travel. Same with travel. And you get to pick what you do and don't do, right? And you get to decide what's going to happen to you that day or that week and what's not, right? I am not going to whatever, something stupid that somebody would want to do that you don't want to do. You can say, no, I'm not going to schedule myself 12 hours a day on vacation. I'm going to have some downtime and I'm going to just lay around, right? That's the benefit of solo travel. You do what you want. Two benefits. You do what you want, and it is much easier to meet new people when you're traveling solo because, you're just more approachable. Thanks for that super chat, Misha. And I saw another one pop up. I'm sorry, I'm behind. Texty lady, thanks for that super chat. I appreciate you. All right. All right, Empress vibes. I've just had to finance a new car after 15 years without a car note. Now I feel stuck. What are your thoughts? So what is your plan? I guess, what is your plan in terms of, like, are you planning to leave? Tell us, we need more info. Because if you're not planning to leave the country for 4 years anyway, boom, no problem. But if you were like, I was going to leave next month, and now I have this car payment, then we need more info. If your plan is a couple years away anyway, okay, Pay it off before you're ready to go so that you can sell it. It depends. That's not a end deal breaker, is it? I don't think that's a deal breaker. You just need to pay that car, when you decide on your go date, that car needs to be paid off by then. But other than that, or because you can't sell a car that you don't own, right? You can't just yeah, so that wouldn't work. Yeah, just find your go date and make sure that your car is paid off by that date. It's okay. I know what it's like to look at your stuff, your things, and be like, these things are the boss of me now. It doesn't have to stay that way. You take the power back from that car when you own that car. Okay, you sounded like it. Allison does help people with debt settlement and student loan forgiveness. Good. You can't drop a link, but if you'd like to drop your Instagram handle, if you're on Insta or something, or you can put the name of your, no pressure, Allison, but if you would like to put the name of your business that people can Google or your Instagram handle in the chat, please do that. But you can't put a link. YouTube won't let you put a link. It'll block it. But you can put your Instagram handle, like your at. Yeah, Joyel's talking about Portugal. So some countries are not letting tourists in, but they are letting people in on a residency visa, which is what we're talking about, right? The first thing we talked about. You need entry into the country. That entry doesn't have to be as hard as people sometimes think it is. Portugal is processing D7 visas, even though they're not. Well, when we did the workshop over the winter, they were not letting tourists in from the U.S., but they were processing D7 visa holders during that time. My neighbor is partying, y'all. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but the the music, she's singing along with them, with the music. So yes, so go to okay. I'm sorry. Yes, so Portugal and France during the time that we did the workshops this winter were not letting U.S. tourists in, but they were processing those visas. Okay, the temporary residency or permanent residency visas. Okay, and then like I said, the requirements for some of those, I don't remember the numbers. I'm sorry, but they were like basically, do you make minimum wage? Their minimum wage in euros. You're right. So if you have proof that you have, I don't know what it was, $800 a month of income or something. It was really low. That I don't. Please, I should not have said $800 a month because I don't know what it was. It could have been $1,500 a month. I don't remember. But do you have this much income, or do you have X amount of euros or dollars in the bank? So check out the workshops for the place that you're interested in. France is, we talked about Delights by Dawn in the beginning. Delights by Dawn went to the Getting Residency in France workshop with Latrice, got into a pastry school, and is now in France. And this workshop was in January or February, right? So she moved fast. She's already in France making pastries and living her dream. She's Delights by Dawn on Instagram. Good. Kim has one last bill, and then she's done. Good. All right. The question every session: how do we handle taxes while abroad? I'm a U.S. taxpayer. I pay taxes to the United States no matter where I am in the world. I file my taxes. I do what TurboTax tells me. I file my taxes to the United States. I don't owe taxes to Mexico because I don't work in Mexico. I work online on the internet, which is international waters. So I don't owe taxes to Mexico. I owe taxes to the United States. And then I handle them by same way you do. I file my taxes on the internet. Um, Adalia, was it you who's having a session on taxes? So I've said I want someone to come talk about it, but I've also been pushing back against it. But I think I saw Adalia post that she's having a tax person soon. So get in Adalia's group, which is Solo Sisters, and also follow Picky Girl Travels the World on YouTube. Okay, I just got a notification that someone just read. So I do keep PayPal notifications on my phone. And I just got notification that someone just registered for one of the workshops. I'm telling you, those workshops. Oh, I published it today. That's why I saw it. I saw the screen, the notification. Adelia's channel is Picky Girl Travels the World. All right, so she had a tax expert on her channel. She did what I've been resistant to do. I've always said that we need to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want people emailing me their tax questions after the video goes up, which I'm sorry, Adelia, that's going to happen. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry, but that's what's going to happen. Some stuff I just want to stay away from. So thank you for taking this for the team. On Adelia's channel, you can find that today. Okay? Thank you for that. Okay, Justice, friends, don't let these fixable U.S. issues hold you back. Some of us have to stay and can be resources to you while you're leaving. We just need to connect. Yes, that's what we do. Thanks, Justice. That's what we do. Justice has been here from day one. That's what we do here. So I think if you get nothing else from this, right? From nothing else from today, I hope that what you take with you is that there is a solution to that thing that you think is a problem for your move abroad. I hope that's what you take from this whole channel. Like, that's the whole purpose of the channel. If you want to take a sabbatical, or if you want to move abroad, or if you want to become a digital nomad, or you want to become a house sitter or whatever, and you think, I can't do it because X, I hope that you find that solution, even if it's because Adelia talks taxes, because I don't want to talk taxes on here. We need to, but I don't want to, because I'm telling you, Adelia, you're going to get an email probably, I don't know how often, but people are just going to start emailing you their particular tax questions. Sorry, girl. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. All right. Okay. I'm behind on the chat. I keep saying that. Okay. Cutie Pie is also going to talk taxes on her IG with a certified financial coach to talk about getting your finances in order. Hi, Asia. Thanks for the super chat. Is it possible to live off $1,000 or $1,300 abroad? My bills are $1,300 plus debt, which is $1,600. Yes, $1,000 or $1,300. Yes. So $1,200 is kind of a standard figure that a lot of abroad, like expat people talk, right? That $1,200 figure is $40 a day. And that's a pretty standard number that people say, can you live in this place on $1,200 a month or less? And yes. Okay, so how do you find these places? You start with Rashida's. Let me see what links I have. Rashida just did a video. Okay, Rashida's on YouTube. She just did a video on 50 plus cities where you can go right now on a budget. That's not what it's called, but it's something like that. You'll see it. You'll see it. 50 plus cities. Okay, I have a list on my own blog, which I hardly ever link to. Vicarious.com/ I think it's vicarious.com/50 cities. If that's not the link. When you go to vicarious.com, you'll see it. I have a list of 50 cities where you can Airbnb for $500 a month. Okay, so at $500 a month Airbnb means that you can live on $1,000 or $1,200 a month. Okay, so you start with these resources. You start with, did I not put Sheeta's channel? Or did I lose it? Yeah. You start with these places. And you find the right place for you. Okay, so a lot of Mexico for a solo traveler, for one person, a lot of Mexico can be done on $1,200 per month. I'm overpaying at an Airbnb in Guadalajara because I don't negotiate. Well, I did negotiate this one, but then I cut it short. And still, I'm not paying. I'm paying $6 something for 3 weeks, which would be $750 or $800 for a month. Right, and then food's only going to cost me about $300 for the month. Um, and that's without trying to find an inexpensive, I got 2 bedrooms and blah, 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 without trying to find the most inexpensive place. A lot of Mexico. Um, Morelia is Merida, Merida. Merida is infamously inexpensive, but man, is it hot there. Guanajuato is inexpensive. Leon is inexpensive. Guadalajara is less expensive. Yeah, so lots of Mexico. If you want to go someplace fancy like Portugal, you're going to have to be out of Lisbon, I think, for $1,200 a month, or like do some kind of share an apartment. But for Portugal, you're going to, I think, be out of Lisbon. I think Porto, Portugal, $1,200 a month is totally doable, and then a lot of the smaller towns up and down Portugal, you can do that for $1,200 a month. So you need to look at these lists of places and see which ones call to you. Look at your needs, right? Do you need to be a nonstop flight away from the United States, or are you okay with being far? If you're okay with being far, go to Vietnam. Like, if you're okay with being far, go to Vietnam. I rented in Vietnam for $180 for a month, and that included a bicycle to get around. Chiang Mai, Thailand, I think I paid $480 for the month, but that was with no negotiation. I could have gotten that for probably $300. Um, so you need to decide what your needs are. How far are you away? Are you okay with being? When do you want to go? Because right now, if you were talking about going right now, COVID is going to dictate where you can go. Um, and then what their requirements are for you. Can I get there with just a tourist visa? Do I need to get temporary residency if I want to stay for 6 months, or can I stay for 6 months without it? Right? The nation of Georgia, the Republic of Georgia. I think I learned on Rashida's video that they let us in for 6 months on a tourist visa, and they're very digital nomad friendly. So look around on my channel, Rashida's channel. Look and see what places we're talking about. Okay, because we're only talking about budget travel places, and we're only talking about um, places where you can work from, which is why you don't see people ask me all the time, how come you're not talking about West Africa? It's not, it's expensive, it's not cheap, and I need to be able to work from a place, right? So if those are what the things that you need, we've got lots and lots of info on our channels and on our websites. Okay, so I hope what you've learned from this is that $1,200 a month is doable in a significant part of the world, significant percentage. If you're okay with going as far as Brazil, yes, right? Uh, Lots of Ecuador, well, lots of Central America in general. Lots of Mexico. In Europe, I would say Portugal, but probably not Spain. Some parts of France. Latrice told us that, and I've been looking since then, and it's true. Some parts of France. Um, Over on the other side, Poland and Croatia and Serbia and Montenegro and Georgia and, the former Soviet countries. Absolutely. Lots and lots of Southeast Asia. Lots of Southeast Asia you can do on $1,200 a month. Okay. See, Christopher, this is why I don't want to talk taxes. I don't know. I don't have me liable for you want to come after me when I don't tell you the right info. I don't know what the U.S. will do to people who owe U.S. taxes. Just pay them. Just pay them. I don't know. I do know you don't want to have to come back into the U.S. with unpaid taxes, because they'll get you at the airport. They'll grab you up at the airport. Yeah, that's why I don't want to talk taxes. I don't know. So there are countries, Weezy says people do leave the U.S. to evade taxes. Yes, but there are countries that have different relationships with the U.S. Some countries, yes, some countries, no. Some countries that will come and get you, I don't know. I'm not talking about that. Yeah. Okay. So Shiny Shiny Thing says absolutely in Spain on $1,300 a month if you pick the right city. Numbeo.com is one of my favorite resources. Get that work from anywhere toolkit. We're listing them. Um, where is that? Work from anywhere toolkit. I list some of my favorite places to go and search out what places cost. You know what I'm saying? In the work from anywhere toolkit, there are calculators for different online sites where you can find out what a place will cost. I've heard so many mixed reviews about Spain. Yeah, me too, but you never know. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the point. We want to go someplace less expensive. Yeah. I don't know that Greece is super expensive. They had that big financial meltdown not too long ago, but prices seem to have stayed the same. If that sounds weird, their currency collapsed, but their prices seem to have stayed the same. So, I don't know. Oh, how do I delete that? I'm sorry. I'm on a third party app, so I can't delete our troll. So just ignore him. Can we ignore him? Oh, ban. Okay, I think I did it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on, I use Ecamm Live so that you can see the comments, but that means it's harder for me to see the trolls. So sorry, but I think I got rid of them. Okay. Okay. I'm not yet of retirement age. How do I produce proof of permanent income of $1,000 a month to get the pensionado visa for Panama? Income is the only thing holding me back. If you do you have a job? You need your pay stubs, is that right? Payment, your payment, you need your pay stubs or for like Portugal, she said use your work. You need a you need pay stubs, or I don't know if they call them pay stubs in 2021. I don't know, but you need that. Plus, you need like a letter, like verifying your employment from your employer. All right. Um, so the 50 cities list is vicarious.com/50 cities. If you don't see, okay, thank you very much, Lee Pepper. Thank you. I think I hit, yeah, I think I hit the ban, but we'll see what happens. My list is at vicarious.com/50 cities. If you don't see it there, if that link is broken, just go to vicarious.com. VAYCARIOUS.com. And then you'll see the list of my blog posts, and you'll see 50 cities where you can Airbnb for $500 a month. Okay, so you'll see that. And then Rashida's video is pretty new, less than a week old. So if you go to Sheeta's on the Loose, that's her YouTube channel, you'll see her video on 50 cities where you can go on a budget right now, something like that. Yes, okay? So that's where you'll find those resources. Yeah, Wheezy Jefferson. Yeah, this is why I never apologize for saying that this channel is for Black women. Other people come and they get info and they get help and all good, right? But as soon as you tell people that something is for Black women, people who feel excluded feel the need to come in and hate on it, right? If somebody said, I'm hosting a chat for moms about blah, 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 I would never go and be like, but what about people who don't have children? Right? But as soon as you say that it's for Black women, here they come. Here they come, right? So I will always say this channel is for Black women. And I will post it when I shared that this video was going live, I actually shared for Black women moving abroad, right? And that gets people upset. But I would never go to a thing for pet owners and be like, but I don't own a pet. What about me? I hate y'all. Y'all are the worst, right? But this is how people are trained to treat Black women. It is. It's how people are trained to treat black women. That's why I like to keep spaces closed as much as you can on YouTube, right? You can't close spaces on YouTube, but that's how it is. I guess that's how it is not the wrong answer. Is the wrong answer, but that is how it is. I don't know. That is how it is, and so we do our best to keep people away. Try not to let it rain on our parade. You know, we're doing our excuse me, we're doing our thing. Hi, Crystal. Welcome. Okay. Troll blockers. Thanks y'all for being on it. I appreciate you guys. We're a community, so we're here to help each other. So thank you. Yeah, okay. So Asia's telling me to get her moderator. All right. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. You know that I'm doing the collective for YouTube coaches, so maybe in compensation for being a moderator on the channel, the person can be um, in the YouTube collective for coaches for free. That'll be the compensation. But that's a good idea. Okay, thanks for that, y'all. I didn't see it. I can tell that y'all saw it before me. I saw your responses before I saw him, so I'm sorry that it took me so long. But I'm on Ecamm Live, and I'm not seeing things real time, or kind of real time, but not real time. I have to do a lot of scrolling to see things. Okay, so let's get back on. We're not going to end, even though I'm finished. We're not going to end because I don't want to end with everybody being upset. Okay. I don't want to end with everyone being upset. Asia, yeah, yes, Asia's, Japan, I would say Japan is expensive. I would say the cheaper version of Japan would be like Korea would be a little less expensive than Japan, and Taiwan, I think, is cheaper than Japan. If that's the kind of experience you want, consider Taiwan. Seriously, Asia, get your work from anywhere toolkit, which is exodussummit.com/toolkit. Get your work from anywhere toolkit, and then look at the calculators to see which places are going to be right for you. Okay, we use numbeo.com, nomadlist.com, theearthawaits.com. Okay, seriously, Asia, find the place that fits your needs for your budget. Okay, but I think Japan is not going to be it. Well, I don't know, but I don't think so. I think Japan is expensive. But yes, look at the toolkit and look at those places and find out what will be right for you. You know, but I would just want to say one more time, $1,200 is a pretty standard figure that a lot of expats use to describe a place, right? This is a place where you can live on $1,200 a month or less. And yes, they're doing it. We're doing it. Yes. It's probably going to be Central South America or Mexico, which is still North America. I don't like when people call Mexico Central America, right? Put some respect on Mexico's name. Mexico, Central America, South America, a lot of Southeast Asia, and some parts of Europe, the former Soviet countries and Portugal. Yeah. And like Latrice told us, a little tiny bit of what's it called? France. I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all. All right. Okay, Andrea. Yes. Okay. Yes. She said she'll review. Yes. Thanks, Simone. She says don't worry about them. Okay. I don't feel too worried about it, but I don't want y'all to worry about it, and I don't want y'all to leave this live stream with that energy. I don't know how to clear the energy. Can someone someone refresh for us? Yes, Happy Girl Alaska. The Work from Anywhere Toolkit has so many great resources. Good. It is. I mean, it's what we use and what our clients use. Rashida and I both do coaching for women who want to go abroad, whether it's for a sabbatical or for to move abroad or to become digital nomads. We do that. And these are the tools that we send them to, right? These are the tools that we use. These are the tools that they use. I know it's good. That toolkit is good. So thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad that you agree with me. Advice for pet owners who want to black sit. Okay, do you want to tell us what your pet is? Okay, is this a carry-on size cat or dog? Okay, if this is a pet that's not going to fit in your carry-on, if it's got to go underneath, am I missing something? Okay. I'm sorry. Last week, remember last week when I was talking and talking and I was like, I don't have any place to be, and I missed my one-on-one with AZ because we were talking, we went so long. And so I just saw a notification. I thought um, that I had missed it, but I do have a one-on-one call, but not until 3:30 my time. Okay. Um, yes. Did you tell us, Katrina, if you can tell us the, I don't have any sage, y'all. I don't have it. No, we don't stop the show. Yeah, tell us what kind of pet you're talking about, pet or pets. Okay, so for carry-on size pets, it can be pretty simple. There are a lot of places where they're okay with you bringing your vaccinated animal in. You just need to check with the country's requirements and the airline's requirements. Check with both places. If we're talking about an animal that you would have to ship under, right? A big dog, you need to decide whether you're okay with your pet being in the cargo hold of a plane. Okay. Some of us have rehomed. My plan was to rehome Star. Even though Star would have fit in a carry-on, she would not have enjoyed any part of the process. So my plan was to rehome Star. She passed away before I left. But I had my coworker Linda, who was going to take her. Linda was like, I said, "Are you sure? Do you need to talk to your husband?" And she was like, "Your dog is small. He won't even notice." So she said. So coworker Linda, and then my backup was my brother and sister-in-law. So some people work to rehome a pet. Some take the pet with them. Adelia travels with Mia. Adelia, who is Picky Girl Travels the World, has Mia with her. And she's got a blog post on Picky Girl Travels the World, that will help you know where to find answers to the questions. Okay, so if you go to pickygirltravelstheworld.com, you will find her post on traveling with a pet, moving with a pet. It's moving with a pet and traveling with a pet are very similar processes internationally. You just need to make sure that you check with the country's entry requirements for your pet and the airline's requirements for your pet. That's the important thing. Okay, thanks for that, Tribe 213. Thank you. All right, everybody feeling good? If you don't feel good, take a deep breath. I feel okay, but I read my comments all the time, so I know. I read my YouTube channel comments all the time, so I know it's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. Anytime you say that something is for Black women, it's going to happen. Yeah, Teresa, it, it yeah, it's a difficult decision, but I think if you find someone who is going to love that pet, love them, it'll be good. They'll be good, and you can come back and visit, right? Rashida goes and visits her former dog. Her former dog is living his best life on a in I want to say like on a farm type thing in the Pacific Northwest. Like he's living his life. Yes, um, that's the only info I have on pets. Yeah, check with the country and check with the airline. All right. Okay, we're good. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so hour and a half. We've gone through the 8 things 1,000 times. The 8 things you do need. You need entry, like a visa or entry or residency. You need income, access to that money from a bank without a fee, a foreign transaction fee. You need a plan for your stuff, not storage and not shipping. Okay, but a plan for your home and your things. You need short-term accommodation, not the full-on lease signed before you even have been to that country, just short-term accommodation. You need the ability to work, which is usually internet, electricity. That's about it nowadays. You need insurance, but not that expensive US. I work for myself insurance. No, it's not going to be that. Okay. It's going to be a lot cheaper in the place that you're going, most likely. Insurance for you in a new country is going to be a lot cheaper than what you think because you're used to US child care and US child care, US healthcare prices. I read child at the same time. US healthcare prices and US insurance prices. You need to figure out schooling. Maybe homeschooling, maybe online schooling, maybe world schooling, maybe unschooling. Check out those things. If you have children who are school age, check out those things, each one, and see which one or ones work for you. And then you need to, number 9, thank you for adding this to the list. I had not put this on the list. You need to have paid off that unsecured consumer debt. Okay? Student loans are separate from this, but we're talking the debt, credit card debt, basically. We're talking credit card debt. Okay? Anything else? Oh, Kim, I'm out next Sunday. I will be on a ship for 2 months. What are you talking about? I thought you were going to Lake Chapala. Girl, text me or email me. Email, I don't know what's better. Email me. On a ship for 2 months? What are you talking about? What is she talking about, y'all? I thought she was coming to Lake Chapala. All right. Okay, another good question. Any recommend lesbian, gay friendly places for safe living countries for Black people? Um, why can't I put that on here? Lee Pepper. Another good question, because a lot of the places that we lift up as being inexpensive and easy are not easy for the LGBTQ community. We saw the post about the woman in Bali who was like, "Come to Bali, it's gay friendly," and next thing you know, she was deported. Um, so this is a very good question. I No, I would say Mexico, but this is my non-LGBTQ experience. Mexico, they seem to mind their business in Mexico. Like people seem not in your business like in other places, like worried about what you're doing and in Indonesia, you can't check in. Like for example, in Indonesia, you cannot check into a hotel. Two women or two men, a same-sex couple cannot check into a hotel with different last names. I don't know. Actually, yeah, with different last names. Like you have to show proof that you're married. No, what am I saying? No, a heterosexual couple with different last names cannot check in. A same-sex couple cannot check in. Right? Like it's very difficult in some places. Um, so we talked to Jay Freedom during the Exodus Summit. Jay is Jamie, and she's the author of We Out, The Blueprint, A Guide to Ending Our Abusive Relationship with America. All right, so she's in Mexico with her wife, and she has said that Mexico has been friendly and welcoming to them. But I can't, let's see. So I, but I can't say for sure. I'm trying to think if I can even point you to someone who specifically talks this. Like I know LGBTQ travelers, um, hand hand luggage only, hand luggage only. I think who write about this, who would have good info, but they're from the UK, so they do a lot of European travel. Europe, I think, is in general going to be more easier. I think in general, Europe is going to be easier for LGBTQ travelers. Uh, Lots of the Middle East and Africa are going to be much harder. Lots of Asia, especially Muslim Asia, much harder. So let's see. I would look at hand luggage. I'm a check right now and see if that's the name of their website or not. Stop. Everything is going haywire. Hand luggage, HAND. Nope. I'll have to find someone to come on and talk about this because good, I don't have anyone who I can point you to and say, here is how you can find their list of places that were more welcoming to them. You know what I mean? Right now, I can't think of anyone right, who has that info out there. It would be them if anyone did it, but I can't remember. I'm not getting their name right. It's something like hand luggage. I don't know. All right. So let's say I think Mexico is one that people would recommend. Um, and I'll do a better job of getting people on the channel who can speak to this more directly. All right. Yeah, I've seen people say this too, Venus. They're waiting for their dogs. As long as their dogs are alive, they're not leaving. If they're small, I assume they're not small, and you can't take them with you, or you don't. Yeah, yeah. Katrina, that's the struggle. So let me tell you. So we talked about this last week too. I think a place that just because you pick a place doesn't mean you're going to spend all 12 months of the year in that place. Okay, so there are a lot of people who move to Lake Chapala, have a home in Lake Chapala, whether it's a rental or they own, but they spend 2 and 3 months somewhere else. That's why I love house sitting in that area. Okay. In Mexico, it's quite possible that you will have a home and a summer home. Right? If that sounds appealing to you, if it sounds appealing to you that you want to be in Puerto Vallarta for 9 months out of the year, but during those hottest and most humid months, you want to go someplace high altitude, you want to go to Guanajuato and chill, could be a good option for you. You don't necessarily have to find the place that's going to be perfect for 12 months. Okay. That's how I make my house sitting bread and butter from people who go to a place most of the time, but then leave for, during the worst periods. In Lake Chapala, people actually leave November and December because it's really noisy. Lake Chapala there's fireworks all the time, and there's just like, they're celebrating every day is like the day of this saint and this virgin and this. It's just really noisy, and like people with pets, your pet gets really stressed out if they're afraid of the fireworks and stuff. So it's not uncommon for people to be going October through December. And that's just what they do, right? So I house sit. So there's one particular house, right? In this house, a couple owns the house, but they only live in there for not 9 months out of the year. And then for 3 months, they're gone. And then another family lives there. And I house sit for that family while they bop around and take little side trips. Um, and that's just a thing in parts of Mexico. It's quite possible that you will have like a summer home, even if it's just like a summer Airbnb. So if you love Puerto Vallarta and you think there are 3 months here where I don't want to deal with Puerto Vallarta, maybe is it possible that you would go to Oaxaca? I don't know what Oaxaca's weather's like, but Oaxaca, or I don't know, I really like Guanajuato or Leon or something. And, you know, your place, if your place is a rental, or even if you own it and you rent your place, sublet your place out, and you go someplace else. I think that's a good solution. If you really like PV and it's just, it looks like these 3 months are going to be hard for you, consider still going to PV and enjoying it while you're there. And then leave. Go someplace else when you're tired of it. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Cat Graphics. We talked about the virtual mailbox a few weeks ago. Okay. She manages a private mailbox agency. Yes, so as a business owner, I need to have a US address. Now, I use my mom and dad's address. I probably shouldn't. That's something I should probably fix when I go home. But if you need to have a US address, there are virtual mailboxes and private mailbox agencies. Kat, I assume that you guys will open the mail, scan it for people, and then they can decide what to do with it or whatever. That's how mine worked. They scanned everything for me. But I was just getting junk mail. It was a waste of my money. But for some people, that is very helpful. Shanika, you're welcome. We spread the word here. We are spreading the word. Yes, this is a movement. This is a movement. This is a movement. Black women are moving. Are we're living our lives, right? This is a movement for Black women to live our lives, live our dreams. Yeah. So I share. We share resources and we share information because I only can do this because someone shared info with me. Like I only know about house sitting because Nora Dunn, professional hobo, is her blog because she wrote about house sitting, right? So I can't. I'm not going to keep my info to myself. I appreciate you guys in the chat sharing info with each other because that's how it works. That's how it works. Okay, good. Thanks. Brilliance, technical writing. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad. So I sent out a newsletter the other day, and I was like, I promise you. I sent out a newsletter and was like, about moving abroad. I promise you, it's not only about Mexico because we talk about Mexico so much, but it's just the total package. Like it's just the total package. If you need to get back to the U.S. for some reason, super easy, barely an inconvenience. I've been watching a lot of YouTube this week because I was sick. So there's a man, that's his catchphrase. You can get back and forth to the U.S. The cost of living is low. You can find beaches or jungle or city or country life, whatever you want. People are great. People here have been wonderful to me. So, and of course, tacos and churros, cerveza and tequila, all of that, all the good stuff. Mangoes. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna turn into a mango eventually. I eat so many mangoes throughout the day. Yeah. All right. So thank you for that super chat. I don't know if you were here earlier. All super chat for this month is going to Green Heifer Farms, a Black woman farmer in Cary, North Carolina, who is growing medicinal herbs and stuff and teas and stuff. So thank you for that. Yes, that life is super affordable, super doable, and it's super common to just, bop around Mexico. Yeah, it's a great choice. Grocery costs per week. So I would say food delivery costs per week. I've never really tracked grocery spending in Mexico, but I went January, February, I only ate delivery, like very rarely bought groceries, and I spent $350 per month, 350 US dollars per month in both January and February with Uber Eats. Don't judge me, right? But that was all Uber Eats, January and February, $350 per month. So groceries less, if that helps. Less than $350 per month. Yeah, that was two meals a day plus 2 meals a day plus like junk food. Um, yeah. Yes. That's my dude. Yeah, Ryan George. Yeah. I think people in Mexico, Prince Smith says, is Mexico Black people friendly? I think people in, yes, I would say it's been my experience that they're pretty friendly to Black people. As an individual, as one Black person, I think that Mexico is just a country of people minding their business. I don't know that's not a very nice way to put it. But I mean, it's like really just a country of people. They're going on about their business. They are not really concerned with me and what I'm doing. Right. Every now and then, not every now and then. When my hair looks good, you can tell that my hair looks good because people will stop and talk to me about my hair. Yes, I can't leave the OXO, which is their 7-Eleven. I can't leave the OXO or the dry clean or the cleaner, the lavanderia. I can't leave there without a conversation about my hair. But other than that, there's no hostility or mistreatment or like, don't come in my store type, like Rome. It's not Rome. This is Mexico. Yes. So yes to Mexico being friendly to Black people. It is really a place where you can live your life. You can live your dream. You can live and people will be, everybody's just going on about their day, right? Going on about their day. Really? I remember the first time I ever ate a mango. I worked in a restaurant and a girl from Puerto Rico brought a mango into the restaurant and shared it with us. And I was like, how have I gone my whole life? I was 17. How have I gone my whole life? All right, there's one more. Okay. How have I gone my whole life without eating a mango? All right. When you get a chance. Oh, you're telling someone else. Okay. Jojo Jojo Code 64 has some cryptocurrency advice. All right. All right. Some of y'all are okay. So a handful of you guys are planning Puerto Vallarta. I don't know when it gets bad, when the heat and humidity is at its worst. I would assume August, and I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yes. Because yes, technical brilliance, technical writing wants to work from PV. Yeah, it's easy to get back and forth to Texas. It used to be Guadalajara used to have a lot of nonstop flights to the U.S., but COVID has changed that. So won't. We'll see how long if some of those flights come back or whatever. One airline just completely folded. My favorite airline, Interjet Airline, just completely folded. Interjet just went out of. That's not funny, but they just went out of business. They used to be really easy to get a cheap flight from Guadalajara to New York. Okay, why no storage? We're not storing our stuff, Christine, because it's expensive and you're not going to remember what's in storage in 2 years. You don't want to pay for storage for something for 2 or 3 years and then not remember. I don't know if Keisha's here. Keisha Sylvester. Keisha's in Spain. Keisha's got stuff in storage. She's been paying on it for 3 years. She can't even tell you what it is. Right. You're just not gonna need it. It's expensive and you're going to have to deal with it multiple times. You think you put it in storage, but it's not set it and forget it. You're right. You got to come back and move stuff out and sell stuff and right. So why not just get it all done at once? It's a drag. It's a drag. And when you get to your new place, you're going to buy new stuff there anyway. You know, you want to find someone who you can trust with the bare or like the things that you absolutely must have. There's some documents and some stuff and maybe some photo albums and some stuff that you must keep. Find someone you can trust to keep that for you, but you don't want to have to pay for a storage container for 2, 3, 4, 5 years for stuff that you don't even, who can remember what's in there? Find someone you trust to take the most important things, disseminate other things to other people, sell as much as you can. I seriously recommend it. I don't know anybody who has had a successful storage relationship. I don't know anyone who has stored stuff and then been like, this happened the same time last week, but I couldn't see him. This music. I don't know. Oh, you know what it is. It's a one-man band. I thought it was like a parade. It's just a one-man band. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Same time last week, and I couldn't figure it out. Okay, you're welcome, Aisha. In Mexico, you can't own property if you're not a permanent resident. So, boom, that takes care of that. Yeah, you can't own in Mexico. You can't come down and own and buy property if you're not already a permanent resident. Okay, AZ storage. Do you? How? Do you want to tell us the sad story? How long have your things been in storage, and is it worth it? Yeah, That's right, Mo. It's just baggage. It's a ball and chain. Don't let the storage weigh you down. Yeah. Thanks, so and so. Glad you're here. Okay. Monique White. I didn't know you did that too, Monique. Yes. Okay, so Monique paid for 3 years of storage and then finally went back and threw away and gave away stuff, right? So just do it now. Like seriously, just do it now. Throw it away, give it away, sell it. Just take care of it in one fell swoop. I can't imagine because storage is not cheap. Ugh, I can't imagine how, like, you could, yeah, I don't know. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it. I don't have any good stories. If I had anyone who had a good story about, I stored my stuff for 1 year, I went back and I was so glad I did. I would tell you. But it's always, it was in storage for 2 years, for 3 years. I don't know what's in there. Ugh, I don't want to have to go deal with it. Who's going to fix it? Who's going to deal with it? Okay. Prince Smith says, wants to know about Japan. You guys, both of you guys have questions about Japan. I only had one 24-hour layover in Tokyo. What I know about Japan is as soon as I got there, I realized that the US was behind in everything. The trains were amazing. The food, I ordered ramen from a vending machine, like in a restaurant. I don't know. Like Japan is just advanced. It's advanced, it's clean. It's another place where people don't stare, even small children. I don't know how often they saw black people, in their daily lives, but nobody stared. Nobody has to take my picture or anything. Yeah, I have nothing but good experiences with Japan, but it's not budget. It is not a budget destination. Only because, okay, you seem to prefer Mexico over Panama, only because I haven't been to Panama yet. Right? I'm a 30 something countries person. I've only been to 30 countries. Okay? So when I tell you my experiences, I'm literally telling you my experiences. I haven't been to Panama yet. Who knows what'll happen? I really do appreciate though how easy it is to get back and forth from Mexico to my parents, to the East Coast. I'm from Delaware. My parents are in Dover. I can get flying to Baltimore or DC or New York or New Jersey, boom, or Philly. I can fly into Philadelphia, which is fast, closer, but weirdly more difficult. Okay. I know that process is hard. Okay, so get your declutter toolkit from Tosh Patterson. Here, I'm gonna help you with this, Junquette. Okay, I think you were probably there on that live. Get your declutter toolkit from Tosh Patterson. Okay, we're gonna get started. Okay, we're gonna get started. And if you need Tosh to help you walk you through this, she helps people. She does one-on-one stuff online with people. If it's a problem, don't let that stuff hold you back. Don't let that be the thing that keeps you from making progress on your plan. Get your declutter starter kit and get started. Momentum. You just need some momentum. It's hard to. It looks when you're doing something that just looks hard. You don't even want to get started, but you just need some momentum. I didn't mean to say only 30 in, I just mean to say like when people throw out countries, I'm like, I haven't been there. I don't know. I haven't been there. I don't mean only 30 as in like only 30, but I wouldn't say to someone else, oh, you've only been to 30 countries. I wouldn't say it like that. I'm just saying, I don't know. Like you're going to ask me a place. I don't know. I've been to Brazil. And that's it, right? You want to ask me about South America? You want to ask me about Africa? I've been to South Africa, and that's it, right? I am not National Geographic. All right, yes, clear your mind. The storage, that's another point about the storage. It's not just about the stuff, right? It's the mind space that it clears up when you don't have that stuff anymore. Tlakepake, I have. I have. I think my mom and I actually stayed in Tlakepake when she came down. It's cute. It's cute. It's a cute little place for, to buy knickknacks and stuff and tourist stuff. And yeah, I like it. I wouldn't stay there long term. Like, I don't think it didn't seem super easy to get to the rest of Guadalajara from there. It's not that convenient to get back and forth to places, but it's cute. See, we talked briefly about taxes, and Adelia has a video that she just posted on her channel today about taxes. Adelia is Picky Girl Travels the World. Go to Picky Girl Travels the World on YouTube, and you will see that's her channel name. You will see her video from today on taxes, okay? Any guidance on the process of gaining a passport? To get your U.S. passport, you need to just get the form online from, I don't know. You're gonna have to Google that. It may be like, I don't know what the office is called. Is it the State Department? Go online, find out what form you need, and get your documents together. I had to get my passport renewed in November, and even during COVID, oh no, there was a delay. I ended up getting mine in the office, but there may not be a super long delay on getting your passport. Just get that form. Go to Google it to find out what form you need, and get that form. Right? You need the form. You need to go to a place and get your picture taken, but all that information is there. It's a pretty simple process. So don't let that be the holdup. Department of State. Okay, thank you. Don't let that be the holdup either. Yeah. Oh, or you can just do the whole thing at the post office. Yes, you could. That's right. You can do the whole, right, Michelle? I think you can do the whole process at the post office. But I would do a Google search and make sure I know which form I need, just in case you get there and they give you the renewal form and not the new form. You want the form to get your passport, not to renew an old passport. You just want to make sure you have the right form. We talked about Rome not being black friendly in the worst countries for black travelers video. Anne Marie, I haven't been to Rome. I haven't been to Italy. The video is called Worst Countries for Black Travelers. All right. Worst countries for black travelers. So on that video, we talk about Rome. I'm gonna just spoil the whole video. Portions of Vietnam, even though I love Vietnam, I wasn't the one who had bad experiences there. We talked, of course, China. China did not do well at all in that video. And some other places. Kim was on that video. Katrina, thank you very much for the super chat. It's so funny to me how they describe the emoji instead of just putting the emoji on the thing. Character holding hands together saying thanks. You're welcome. Thanks, Katrina. So Green Heifer Farms, I'll have an update on the end of April about how much we're giving to Farmer C of Green Heifer Farms on YouTube. So I posted her GoFundMe. But on YouTube, she's Farmer C. If you guys want to watch her while she built her farm, she's here. She's got a channel. And she just put a video up this week. I haven't watched it yet. So if you want to, thanks, Lee. China's so disappointing. I know, because it's so cheap. It's very disappointing that China's not doing better, but because it's such an inexpensive place. Thanks very much for the super chat, Lee. So yeah, Green Heifer Farms, and let's see. And then her Patreon. If you don't want to give super chat money and you want to give to her directly, you can become a patron of hers, and then like monthly you'll get updates from her and stuff. She's at patreon.com/Green Heifer Farms. All right. I'm excited about that. I don't even know her. One day she's gonna by at the end of the month. Well, I guess I'll put it on her Patreon thing, and she'll be like, "What? What are you talking about?" Thanks so much, Nicole. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. I love that we do this. Don't forget that Allison at the Pastry Factory, we as a channel gave $770 to the Pastry Factory in Columbus, Ohio, and today is her grand opening. Allison Blackwell's pastry shop at the North Market in Columbus. Yeah, we put together $770 for her, which I'm so proud of. And today's their grand opening. So if you want to holler at her on Instagram, feel free to. Good, Tiffany. Tiffany's passport should be here any day. Good. Do it, Joyelle. Do it and report back. Okay? Joyelle's going to make a group for people under 30. Was it last time someone wanted a channel for people, for a group for people over 60, and I was like, make it. And she did. That was Deborah. It's called, what is it called? I think it's called Black Expats Over 60. I think. Okay, so do it, Joyelle. Do it and report back. Tell us what it's called. Good. Good. Yeah, that's good. My parents got my parents my dad renewed and my mom got her passport while I was on my gap year. I took that year to travel in 2015, 2016. I took a year to travel around and they got their passport so that they could meet me. But I had to come home. I had run out of money. I came home after 12 months. I don't know. I was in Paris and I guess they thought they were going to join me in Paris. But I was like, I'm only in Paris blowing these last couple $100s. I'm just here blowing money until I can get home. Next thing you know, I'm like, can y'all pick me up from the airport? So it's good that he'll join you, Francine. I'm glad. Oh, AAA does passport photos for free. Good news. But they're extremely behind, so pay for expedited if you need it soon. Thanks for that, cutie pie. Thank you. All right. And Deborah, this is, hi, Deborah, 60, oh, thank you. 60 plus Black women expats. That's Deborah's group. Okay. They're on Facebook and they welcome you. I might sneak in the group. I'm already in some over 50 groups. So I might sneak in, Deborah. Just act like you don't know. Yeah, 60 plus Black women expats. They will welcome you. Okay, this is for Black women who either want to become an expat or who already are. Okay, this is. I can't tell you enough how important it is to have a community of people who will walk alongside you on your journey. When you're doing something that's new and different and difficult and like against the grain, you've got to have some community with you. You've got to, and you don't have to. You don't have to seek out people. They're already gathered together, waiting to help you. And this is one of those places. So 60 plus Black women expats. Thanks, Deborah. All right. Thanks for the super chat, Jules. Pair character laying on the side, raising on his, saying how it's going. Thanks, Jules. Thanks, Jules. Ah, E. Dunlap, in a lot of the world, you don't have to drive. That's one of the things I love about a lot of places. Uh, have I been anywhere in Mexico where it would have been easier to drive? I don't think so. I've been to probably 6 or 8 different towns or cities in Mexico, not driven not driven anywhere. We did rent a car once when my mom came here, but unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Your area probably has your area, first of all, is probably more walkable. The place where you live is probably more walkable. Um, what's it called? Uber, very inexpensive to Uber. In the places I've not been to like Cancun and the super tourist places, but even in La Paz, which is touristy and more expensive, even there Uber was very inexpensive. Right? So you've got walking, you've got Uber, you've got public transportation. In Lake Chapala, there's a bus, right? I can't figure it out. I never get on the right bus, but there are bus systems. And then when you want to go from place to place, the bus from town to town or city to city, those buses are nice. There are some really nice buses in Mexico. I'm taking the bus Monday from Guadalajara to San Miguel de Allende for my house sit, and I'll be comfortable, right? Like I already know. I've taken the Primera Plus bus, I don't know, a dozen times at least. So find places where you don't need to drive. If you're going to Europe, public transportation is fantastic. Even like in Portugal, even like to a small town. I wanted to go to this small town where they had this umbrella art installation. You know, umbrellas in the sky. I wanted to go there to take Instagram pictures. But there was a train that took me exactly there. Like no trying to figure stuff out. This is a tiny place. Why would I don't know. It was really easy. So public transportation and walking, yes. Make sure that your place is the place that you're interested in. Make sure that that is the place. In the UK, public transportation is good. It's more expensive there, but good, thorough. Like you can get anywhere you want to get. In the Netherlands, I had great experiences with public transportation. And walking, like the US is more spread out than a lot of places. US and Canada, I would say, are more spread out than a lot of other places. So yes, you can go somewhere, you can walk there, you can use Uber and their metro and be perfectly happy. How would you know though? I think you need to look at those calculators that we love, like the Earth Awaits, like Nomad List, and find out how walkable these places are. I would check that out. It wasn't hard. I had to pay more. I want to say $69 more, something like that. I had to pay more, but it wasn't any harder. You know, it's just a different form. I don't know what it's called, but it's a different form. I let my passport expire during COVID because I didn't want to mail it in and not know because the offices had been shut down. So I let it expire, and then I, instead of just going through the process normally in the mail when I was ready, I just waited and got an appointment in the passport office. So I bought a refundable ticket for 3 days later, and then went into the office and got my passport renewed right there, right then and there, and then canceled my refundable ticket. Okay, because you usually can't get an appointment in the US passport office unless you're flying within the next 3 days. So that's what I did. It was no harder, it was just more expensive. But I felt like I just could not mail in. My passport was expiring May of 2020, and I got back to the US March of 2020. February. I got back to the US in February of 2020, and I just did not feel comfortable mailing my passport off. So I let it expire in May, and then I had all that time to send it in, and still I was like, no, I'm just going to go into the passport office in November and get my passport renewed right there. And then I showed them my ticket. I'm flying in 3 days. I need this today. And they did it. And then I canceled the ticket. Oh, Mariah, you're not going to be totally lonely. There are people everywhere. There are extroverts all over the world. I'm telling you, there are extroverts all over the world. Really, you just have to be somewhere and they find you. That's what extroverts do, right? You know those people who have never met a stranger, they find you. I have had conversations with people all over the world, just people just while I'm minding my business, and they just come up and talk to you. But if I do get lonely, my advice to you, if you are lonely abroad, take a trip, like take an excursion, like book a tour, book a day tour. You're going to meet people on the tour. Reach out to the Facebook group for locals and expats. Find a meetup on meetup.com. But seriously, the tour is probably the fastest way. Just go on a tour. Go to TripAdvisor or whatever and find out what tours you can book for that day. You're going to meet people on that day tour. And probably by the end of the day, you'll be glad to be alone. I'm a blink, blink. Me too. It's coming. It's fast approaching for me too. Sure. It's Cutie Pie. We're all going to storm that group. We have to get vaccinated to enter and exit the country. No, you need to check on every country is different, right? So I need to have a COVID test before I can fly back into the United States, right? I'm not going to get vaccinated until I get there. But you need to, every country is different. Sometimes it's different by country and by how you're getting there. Like, are you driving in or are you flying in? So you need to check on that country's rules. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks for that super chat. I'm scrolling to get to it, but I'm sorry. I'm really far behind in the chat. Thanks for the super chat, Sag here. Thank you. All right. I'm excited about dropping the money in the Green Heifer Farms thing. All right. You can always meet someone. That's right. It's really easy. I promise you. It's really easy. It's easier to make friends abroad than it is in your everyday life when you're stuck in your habits and your patterns. It really is. It really is. My main downside about Mexico is there's no ethnic diversity. Ah, well, there are travelers here. Just like I'm here, there are men here from all over the world. You just have to find them in like they're in. You have to find them in like expat groups. I would assume that like co-working spaces would have men from around. You're right about that. But there may be some, maybe. Yeah. Try. You just have to find. You just have to be where if you're interested in that, you'd have to be where travelers are, where they pass through. More tourist locations. But like I see non-Mexican people in Guadalajara all the time. All right. All right. All right. If I have not acknowledged your super chat, I apologize. It's just because it's scrolling by really fast. But thank you very much for giving money to the super chat. I'm excited about giving the money to Green Heffa Farms. But you can go straight to her on Patreon and give as well. That way you can hear from her back and forth. You can hear her updates on her farm. Last time I was in Mexico, I saw some fine men. Yeah, I see them all the time. Yes. I'm in Guadalajara. Is this for me? I'm in Guadalajara. I was in La Paz for the whole winter. I don't know, January, February, March. I spent 3 months in La Paz, and now I'm in Guadalajara. Next this month on Monday, I go to San Miguel de Allende, and then I will finish out my time on my 6 month tourist visa back in Lake Chapala, Mexico. Yes, Nomad List has that too. Yes, Nomad List has like meet, you know, people has like people on boards. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a group board, whatever. It's like a group. I don't participate in that because I'm a loner, but they have that too. Yeah. But wherever you want to go, there's a Facebook group for people, for expats, maybe for black expats in the place, any place that you want to go. All right. Yes, this is another good point. Your passport, the expiration date does not mean that's the last day you can travel on your passport. Some countries won't let you in if you don't have at least 6 months before your passport expires. Yeah, it's a weird rule to me. No matter how short your trip is, even if your trip is a weekend, they're like, no, your passport expires in 5 months, you can't come in. Some countries. So you need to know that rule as well. The UK doesn't seem to care. I got into the UK with my passport less than 3 months, about to expire in less than 3 months, and then I had to renew it there. I renewed it there once. All right. I see some comments about speaking Spanish, but I don't see the original question. But learning Spanish is helpful. But you don't have to wait. You don't have to do it before you come. You know, you can learn it here. So I've been considering investing in VIP. Okay, that's Spanish. How do I like Guadalajara? Yeah, it's a modern city. It's not, it's, I don't know how to explain it. Let's see. So it's a city of neighborhoods, like all cities, but it's a city of neighborhoods. It's a very residential city, is what I'll say. Like, I don't know where the financial center of Guadalajara is. And I've spent months and months. Overall, I've spent months and months in Guadalajara. I don't know, like, where the financial, like, the big city looking stuff is. I know Guadalajara. I know, like, residential areas, lots of shopping malls. And then like the tourist center downtown has the old church, the old church and some stuff, and the museums and stuff in the heart of downtown. Lots of good restaurants here. I like it here. It's decent altitude, high altitude, so it stays pretty cool, even though it's been in the 90s every day this week. It usually stays pretty cool, doesn't get piping hot. Any kind of food that you want, you're gonna get, right? Any kind of food that you're looking for, you'll find here. And like I said, it's a place where people are going about their lives, living their lives, and not worry about what I'm doing, not pointing at me and trying to touch me and stuff. So I'm a fan of Guadalajara. I call it Old Faithful. It's a nice place to come back to after I've been to someplace new. But it's not super. I don't know. Well, I don't do things, so maybe this is why I don't. I wouldn't call it a super fun place. It's chill and relaxed, and you can eat here and shop here. But I wouldn't call it like a super fun place. So if you're talking about moving here, yeah, I wouldn't recommend taking a vacation to Guadalajara. Of all the choices in Mexico, I wouldn't. Except yeah, but I would live here. Except that it's close to the town of Tequila, where tequila is from. So that's fun. It's nice to go hang out there and do tequila tours. But I'm a fan of Guadalajara. I wouldn't visit it, but I would live here, if that makes sense. All right, thanks, PM. Yeah. All right. Again, I don't know how old this question is. I walk and Uber and take the bus, all of those. Yeah, mind the business that pays them. Yeah. Okay, so here's Joyelle's Facebook group for Gen Z. Gen Z slash millennials travel. All right. So that's her group. How do you find somewhere to stay? I usually start with Airbnbs. I start out with Airbnbs. Well, Dolly, I'm a house sitter, so sometimes I start with house sitting. But if you're not house sitting, I would start with an Airbnb and find a place. If you decide that you're going to stay there for more than like 3 months or more than 3 months, you probably don't want to stay in an Airbnb all that time. You probably want to find more a furnished apartment, I would guess. Facebook groups for that area are very good about that kind of thing. Or maybe you do want to stay in the Airbnb if the price is right and you like it. Maybe you book that Airbnb long term. But Airbnb has changed everything. It's changed, you don't have to find an apartment someplace just because you want to spend 3 months there. Excuse me. So I usually start with house sits or Airbnbs. Once you get somewhere, walk around, find the neighborhood that you want to spend more time in. Like I like this neighborhood. I'm not too far from the highway, which means that I can get to other places on by Uber really inexpensively. I'm also close to the Soriana, the grocery store. There's a Starbucks, there's a McDonald's, all kinds of food around here. And I'm directly across the street from a pozole restaurant, which is really good. Um, and then there's an OXXO on the next corner, which is there's 7-Eleven, but like a convenience store, very convenient convenience store. So I would just look around at different neighborhoods, and see what kind of neighborhood you're interested in after you get to a place. And then once you decide, if you decide you want to stay there longer, you can talk to your Airbnb host and see if you can rent it long term for a better rate, or you can look for an apartment through the correct apartment sites for your place, which you're going to learn about in Facebook groups. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much. Thanks for the super chat. All right. Some countries, yeah. Time is 11:23 a.m. So I'm going to go soon and very soon. I I have 6 months on my tourist visa. I came in Sunday after Thanksgiving. So technically, if when I leave, I'm going home for a while. But if I wanted to, all I would need to do is cross the border and then come right back in, Malcolm. Mexico lets you cross the border and come back. Like literally, you don't even have to be gone for an hour. Some people fly to Tijuana, cross into Southern California, have lunch. The people that I house sat for, or the friends of the people I house sat for, the people who threw me a birthday party when I was here house sitting a couple years ago, that's what they did. They flew to Tijuana, had lunch, got back on the plane, and came back. You just need to cross the border to reset the 6 month tourist visa. But when I'm gone, well, the temporary residency is worth the effort, right? Getting temporary residency is worth that effort, except that I don't know what the minimum requirement is to stay in Mexico. Once you get residency somewhere, you have to spend X number of days there. And I don't know if I want to commit to that yet. So I haven't worked on getting residency here um, because the tourist visa is so convenient. No, Susan, I have not been to Ireland or France yet. Yet. Oh, France. I've been to Paris. That counts, right? I've been to Paris 2 times. Yeah. Century 21, Airbnb, Locals Are Life just signed a 2-year lease. Get info. Yeah, you want to get info from people on the ground in the place that you're going. You don't want to get an apartment someplace. Yeah, you don't want to do it as an American coming to another country. You want to be there already or have connections with people already there because you're going to pay. I don't know how much extra. A lot of questions, Karen. All right, House Sitter School is housesit.vicarious.com. Actually, let me put the link to the House Sitter Toolkit. House Sitter Toolkit is housesitvicariouscom/toolkit. Okay, so this will get you, this is the new House Sitter Toolkit. This will give you info on how to get started house sitting, right? The link to trusted house sitters, the letter that you send to people when you're ready to apply for a house sit. That's in the House Sitter Toolkit. Your other questions were, oh, freaking, why did I do that? Now I can't find you. Water. So in a lot of the world, you don't drink the water. Mexico has the reputation, but you don't drink the water in Paris either. The pipes are super old. You don't go to Greece and drink the water in Athens. You buy bottled water. Here, I pay $1 for the 6 liter, but it's only a dollar 20 for the 10 liter, the big thing that you put on coolers. What is that? 10 liters, 20 liters? That big thing, 28 pesos. So if I had the big water cooler thing, you would, when I house sit, you usually get 3 of those for 70 something pesos or 80 pesos. Um, yeah, you just drink bottled water. In a lot of the world, you don't drink the water. Mexico has a reputation for it, but in a lot of the world, those pipes are super old. Europe is old. Like, Europe is old. You're not going to Spain and drinking water out of the tap unless you're in a place with filtered water, which is the case in a lot of my Mexico house sits. And some of my house sits, they have a filtered system. And some of them, they're like, we buy water here. It's no different from home. I think a lot of us in the U.S. don't drink the water. I like the water in Dover. I drink water from the sink in my parents' house. They don't. They don't. They'll look at me. I drink water from the sink and from the fridge, and they're like, "We've never changed that fridge filter. Just stop drinking that water." But yeah, it's like a lot of places. If you have the filter, you drink the water from the sink. If you don't have a filtered system, you just drink it. You buy bottled water. It's not a big deal. England water made my tummy hurt. Yeah, they're old. Those countries are old. Their not irrigation, what is it called? Their water systems are old. Ah, yes, it would be. Monique's in the Netherlands. She says our water is famously good. It would be, yeah. You guys are far north and you probably get water from the you guys are not as far north as like Scandinavia, but you probably get water from Scandinavia. It probably drips down to y'all. Somewhere else I went and they were like, this water is from, it might have been when I was in the Netherlands. This water is from I don't know, someplace I went. They told me the water is good. Yeah, so don't let the water hold you back. I'm sorry, Karen, you had one more. You had 3 questions. I answered 2 of them. I don't remember the third one. Water, house sitting. I'm sorry, Karen. I lost you. Can I tell you my monthly expenses? As a house sitter, I have business expenses related to like running house sitter school and stuff, right? So I pay for some business stuff. I probably pay about $100 a month to run my business. My email newsletter company costs money and stuff. I don't know. So pay about $100 a month to run my business. I eat. It costs me about $350 a month to eat. Transportation, I don't track that. Uh, like I'm going on the bus to whatchamacallit? I'm going on the bus to San Miguel. I think that was $30, 25 or $30. So we'll say I spend about $50 to $100 a month on transportation. My phone, I don't have a Mexican SIM card. If I had the Mexican SIM card, my phone would be $20 a month. Instead, I have a US SIM card with Google Fi, so I'm spending $40 a month for the phone. I would put that in the business expenses category, though. And then I have an annual insurance policy from World Nomads in case I need to be hospitalized or medically evacuated. I pay somewhere around $900 for the year for that policy. Oh, you can see my messed up. I broke a nail. I lost it. I pay about $900 a year for that policy, but it's not a full-on medical. It's not like people who are permanent residents in Mexico and get insurance in Mexico. It's not that kind of policy. It only covers like the big catastrophic things, not everyday, not regular health care. So I'm guessing that's it. So what are we talking here? And then, okay, and then my Airbnb budget is less than $1,000 a month. So I tell myself I'm not spending more than $1,000 a month on Airbnbs and stuff. I did that once in anyway. So I would say so. This one is about I'm not paying for the full month. What did I say? 750 about 750 for the month, plus my $350 to eat. 1050 plus about $50 for transportation for the month. 1100 plus $100 to run my business is 1200. So about $1,200. Yeah, about $1,200 a month. More, a little more than that. Because I also because then in the insurance, if that was monthly, that would be a little more. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. All right. I'm scrolling. Okay. Thanks, Portia. I think I can sing. I think I'm a good singer. I don't know if anybody would agree with that. All right. All right, all right. I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling. Killeen, Texas. Okay, Lee. I was stationed in Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas. 5 years. What about your social life? Where do I meet friends? I'm a loner. Like I really am a loner. Um, I house sat in Lake Chapala, Mexico. I was walking out of a restaurant in Lake Chapala, Mexico, and two black women accosted me, ran up to me. Well, actually, they were in a car. They stopped their car, pulled over, came over and talked to me and became my friends. And so they have taken me in. So I have a community in Lake Chapala, Mexico, a community of friends of black women in Lake Chapala. So being black abroad means that people will just stop and talk to you. Other black people. I don't know if it happens to men. Actually, I don't know if black men stop and talk to black men like that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. You have to tell us. You have to tell us what your experiences are abroad. But my experience being abroad is that if there's another black woman there, she will find me. We will become best friends. And then when I need friends or when I, want to do friend things, boom, there they are. I've had this happen to me in Vietnam. Like Uzo, I need to holler at Uzo. Uzo in Vietnam, I was riding my bike and on the phone. Oh, no, I wasn't. I was riding my bike and she was standing on the corner on the phone. And I was like, wait, when she sees me, she is going to lose her mind. And she did. I was just riding my bike in Vietnam, in Hoi An. And I saw her first. And then she was on the phone and she said, wait. She flagged me down. We had dinner. I don't think we were separated for like 3, 4 days. Yes, that's what it means. Kat says same thing. People in Germany, people come and talk to you. I don't know if men experience this, really. Like, I don't know. I know that when I'm abroad and when I see men, you can tell, like, non-American black men are always like, aren't you going to speak to me? I have a friend from the Cameroon. He was like, I walked past him in Bali, walked past him, and he was like, is she not going to speak to me? So then he came up and talked to me. He expected that I was going to stop and talk to him. So that's what happens. It's a wonderful experience. You have to tell us. You report back. When you are places, you need to report back and tell us if you experience this as a man. But it's wonderful. It's wonderful as a woman. All right, y'all. I don't. All right. Okay. So we covered the 8 things you need to leave the U.S. We covered the 8 things you don't need to leave the U.S. Keep in mind, or it wasn't 8 things, maybe like 5 things you don't need to leave the U.S. Keep in mind, you don't need to be on your last straw. You don't need to wait until your peace of mind is suffering or your mental health is suffering before you make a decision to leave. It's okay to make your decision earlier than that. You don't have to wait until you're at a point of desperation. It's okay to make a decision for yourself, even if it's just because you want to see something new, right? I didn't first leave the US on my career break or my sabbatical or my gap year in 2015. That wasn't related to me thinking, oh, the US is the worst. It was just, I want to see some other places. I wanted to see some other places, and I did. Now, seeing those other places did open my eyes up to how the US was bad, right? So seeing those things did open my eyes to the bad. But it wasn't the original reason for going. I just wanted to see some stuff. I had screensavers on my computer of like Thailand and Vietnam, and I didn't want them to just be screensavers. I wanted to have them in my brain, in my heart, in my memory. I wanted to be there. So if you want to go someplace, go. Find the right place and go. Okay. So Kat's asking me to summarize the 8 things. Okay. So you don't need citizenship. You need an entry visa or residency. You don't need a job abroad. You need income. You don't need a foreign bank account. You need access to your money for free. You need a bank account without foreign transaction fees. You don't need to store or ship your stuff. You need a plan for your home and for your stuff, but you don't need to store it or ship it. You don't need to find a residence abroad before you get abroad. You don't need to get a long-term lease or any of that. You need to find some short-term accommodation. You need the ability to work. Number 6, you need the ability to work. So you need good internet, good electricity. You need You don't need expensive U.S. insurance, but you need insurance. In a lot of the world, when you get residency abroad, you can get insurance abroad, and you can get that insurance for a fraction of what it would cost you as a self-employed person in the U.S. You need to figure out the schooling situation. You don't necessarily need to put your kid in school in a new place. You may online school, world school, homeschool, or put them in schools, abroad. And then number 9, we came up with the 9th. Everyone gave me a 9th. You don't need to pay off your student loan debt before you go, but you do need to pay off your credit card debt. We all agree. You do need to pay off that unsecured consumer debt before you go. Okay, so those are things you need and don't need to go abroad. Okay, I appreciate you guys again. As you know, I will keep a tally of the super chat money so that I can give you an update on how much we are sending to Green Heifer Farms the end of this month. Allison's Pastry Factory, The Pastry Factory on Instagram is having their grand open today, so please celebrate with her. We gave $770 to help her equip that bakery. as a community. $770. Yeah. So today's her grand opening. Go and celebrate with her. She's on Instagram at The Pastry Factory. Okay? All right. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's all I got. Thanks so much for joining in. I hope that I will see you again next week. Next week we're going to talk about the over 60 traveler, but I don't have the guest confirmed yet. So, yeah, next week we're going to talk about over 60 travel things because I don't want you guys to think that I'm ignoring you. All right? Okay. Okay, so you guys, when I end this, the chat is going to end, I think. So I see that you guys are talking to each other. You need to exchange your information now or come back and exchange it in the comments. I see the chat is going and you guys are exchanging info, but it's not going to, I think as soon as I shut this down, that's going to be the end of the chat. So if you need to save somebody's info, you need to go back and find it or come back to the replay. All right, thanks for joining in, friends. See y'all next week, next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye.